The tragic case involving a 19-year-old Federal University Lokoja fool student named Damilola, allegedly murdered by a Yahoo boy, Jeremiah Paul, for ritual purposes, sheds light on the disturbing intersection of youth involvement in ritualistic crimes, the influence of social media, and the culture of financial desperation. This case has several key individuals whose roles unravel a chilling narrative of greed, manipulation, and violence. Paul and his accomplice, Barnabas Olubinga, were first exposed to the idea of ritual wealth through social media, specifically via a TikTok video featuring a native doctor who practices Ifa divination. This digital connection led the young men down a dark path. They contacted the native doctor on WhatsApp and later traveled to Ibadan to receive what they believed would bring them wealth. So purportedly for ritual cleansing, Barnabas' testimony reveals their initial intentions, which involve using the soap for personal gain through spiritual means. His description of the soap's cleansing abilities, which came with strict instructions, exemplifies the level of belief these young men had in the ritual's power to deliver quick wealth. Barnabas, however, distanced himself from the violent outcome, claiming ignorance of Paul's plan to kill Damilola. Emmanuel Otitoju, a 100-level sociology student at Federal University Lokoja, adds another layer to the complexity of the crime. Though he admits meeting the deceased, Damilola, he denies involvement in her murder, maintaining that their relationship was purely platonic due to minds in an age of social media manipulation. The key motivator for these young men was financial hardship. Barnabas, for instance, noted how they couldn't afford lodging during their trip. The prospect of sudden wealth was an alluring solution to their problems, and their criminal actions reflect a larger societal issue where poverty pushes youth to engage in illegal activities. Their belief in ritualistic practices as a way out of financial desperation underscores the intersection of economic challenges and criminal behavior among youth. The case also exposes how criminal networks form among youth. Paul, Barnabas, and their accomplices quickly organized themselves around a shared goal: attaining wealth through ritual means. While some, like Iomid, might have been peripheral to the main crime, their association with key players shows how easily such networks can form. Even indirect involvement, such as offering accommodation, ties these individuals into the broader criminal plot. There's a psychological element at play where young individuals become desensitized to violence, especially when driven by the hope for wealth. The idea of murder as a means to an end, whether for ritual purposes or other financial gain, speaks to the breakdown of moral values and the lengths to which some youths are willing to go. The fact that Damilola was so easily victimized reflects both her vulnerability and the ruthless nature of her killers. This case also underscores the crucial role of law enforcement in apprehending individuals involved in such crimes. While the suspects have been arrested, the challenge lies in the broader effort to curb youth involvement in ritual killings and financial crime. It points to the need for stricter regulations around the use of social media to propagate such dangerous ideologies and better education to inform youths about the consequences of such activities. The murder of Damilola by a group of young men for ritual purposes is a grim reflection of the deepening crisis of juvenile delinquency in Nigeria. It highlights how social media has become a new breeding ground for dangerous ideologies, including ritualism. The case calls for immediate attention to the factors driving young people into such acts, from financial desperation to the influence of digital spaces, and it urges society to address these issues through comprehensive educational, economic, and social interventions. Preventing tragic crimes like the ritual murder of Damilola requires a multi-pronged approach that targets not only the perpetrators, but also the vulnerable young adults who may fall prey to such dangers. Preventive measures and law enforcement strategies. The internet, especially platforms like TikTok, has become a hotspot for ideologies, including harmful ideologies, promoting harmful ideologies, including ideologies. Stricter regulations are needed to monitor and take down content that promotes illegal activities. Law enforcement agencies should collaborate with social media companies to establish reporting mechanisms that swiftly flag and remove dangerous content. A key part of curbing such crimes lies in educating the public, particularly youth, about the dangers of ritual practices and the consequences of criminal activities. Schools, religious organizations, and community centers can be platforms to spread awareness. Campaigns should focus on debunking myths, around quick wealth through criminal means, explaining the psychological manipulation often employed by native doctors and highlighting the legal ramifications. Financial desperation is often a driver for crimes like this. Governments and private organizations need to invest in skills development, vocational training, and job creation for young people. By providing them with legitimate pathways to financial success, the allure of quick wealth through illegal means can be diminished. Involving youths in entrepreneurial programs can also foster self-reliance and reduce the tendency to seek out shortcuts. A swift and decisive legal response is essential. When you see that perpetrators of such crimes are brought to justice swiftly, it sends a strong message of deterrence. Law enforcement should also focus on breaking the criminal networks of native doctors who prey on vulnerable youths, charging them with conspiracy in the deaths or harm caused by their practices. Safety tips for young adults. Young adults meet people through social media or dating apps, but it's important to exercise caution. Always vet individuals before meeting them in person. Do some background checks on their social media activity and look for red flags like excessive secrecy or inconsistencies in their stories. Young women, in particular, should establish clear boundaries in relationships. If a partner pressures you into uncomfortable situations, be it emotionally, physically, or financially, consider it a red flag. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding, not coercion or manipulation. If something feels off about someone you're interacting with, trust your gut. Don't be afraid to walk away from situations or people that make you uncomfortable, even if you can't explain why. It's better to err on the side of caution. Always inform a trusted friend or family member about your whereabouts, especially when meeting someone new. Share details like the person's name, where you're going, and your expected return time. Consider using phone apps that allow others to track your location for added safety. Young people, especially women, may sometimes be targeted by men offering promises of luxury or financial assistance in exchange for romantic involvement. Be wary of anyone whose primary interest seems to revolve around material gain or who pressures you to engage in unethical behavior. It's crucial for young women to focus on building their own financial independence and self-worth. Depending on others for financial security makes one more vulnerable to manipulation. Focus on education, career building, and personal development as key to long-term success and happiness. Any signs of controller behavior, excessive jealousy, manipulation, or violence should not be ignored. A partner who isolates you from friends or family or makes you feel guilty for wanting space may have unhealthy motives. Emotional manipulation often escalates into more dangerous behaviors, including violence. If you ever find yourself in a dangerous or manipulative relationship, seek help immediately. This could be from a counselor, trusted family member, or law enforcement. Don't hesitate to report suspicious activities to authorities, especially if you suspect someone is involved in criminal behavior. By combining preventive law enforcement efforts with widespread education, youth empowerment, and fostering healthy relationships, we can significantly reduce the risk of crimes like this one. It's crucial for young women, in particular, to stay vigilant, prioritize their safety, and understand the value of self-worth and independence in relationships.
Thanks for joining us on Relationship Rendezvous, where we dive deep into love, loyalty, and everything in between. If you enjoyed today's conversation and want to keep building stronger connections, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We love hearing from you, so drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay true, stay loyal, and always make room for love in your life. See you soon.